All right, welcome everybody. I got to address. I have to address. It's kind of one of these topics today. It's kind of like how the sausage is made, and what I mean by that is what happens behind the scenes. People constantly, ask me questions about how the market moves and how can the market be up by 150 points early and then be down by 300, and how can it be down by 200 and then up by 400? And people, it's a different trading world. I'm going to do my the best I can to explain to you how it works, but I'm not going to be able to tell you how to make money in that fashion. You can't do it. Can't do it. I've been in this business for a very long time, and again, it'll take me back when they were first starting up the discount brokerage firms back in the 1990s. Now, when they were starting up the discount brokerage firms back in the 1990s, everybody's concerned, oh my God, it's going to put all the stockbrokers and these big investment firms are going to get hurt. And I'm like, what are you, crazy? What do you think, that these big investment firms out there are going to destroy their own business? They invested in all those things. They invested in the E-Trades. They took them public. They wanted as many people out there that they could take advantage of. They wanted you to believe that you could trade like the pros, and they're going to give you the bells and the whistles and the level 2 quotes and all of the technical advice. They'll let you in on their proprietary research. But what do they really want you to do? Trade and trade and trade. You see, people, you're not going to out trade the traders at these big firms. And again, these were when most of the traders were actually human beings. Now it's a lot of computer programs that can trade in, fractions of a second, that know which way momentum is heading, and they can beat you to the punch. So, yeah, you're going to lose if you try to play that game. I remember watching the same thing in the currency, foreign exchange markets. And this is before the euro took hold and there was more currencies in Europe that could trade against one another. People tried to do it, and they got wiped out. They got wiped out by the big firms because they can really move markets when they want to. This type of manipulation's been around for a while, and it's the media is also involved with this as well. There are certain stock analysts this year, and I'm not going to mention any names, that have gotten a bit of street cred because they have been right on some of their calls when it comes to the markets. Listen, a little insider baseball. I'm here to tell you that there are certain algorithms that actually move. And again, this is utilizing highly leveraged position, utilizing the options market based upon what certain analysts will say. In the same way that you see markets bouncing all over the place when Jay Powell is speaking, it's based upon what he's saying. The computer fires off trades. A lot of times it's obviously more of not, it's options. Options have exploded. The use of options has gone through the roof. So there's traders, there's trading programs that go into effect based upon what these guys say. But again, this is nothing new. And I'm kind of disgusted. I've always been disgusted by it. I was actually reminded myself, going back to the 1990s. There was a reporter that would come on around midday, 12 o'clock in the afternoon on CNBC. And he was a pretty good journal. I mean, he worked at the Wall Street Journal for a while, but then he got this job at CNBC where he would do about 3 minutes at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. And he would talk about stocks that many times were like penny stocks. They weren't even legit. And because he mentioned them and what was hot, all of a sudden, whoop, traders would rush in, the stock would go up, there'd be a buzz there, even though there could be nothing. The company could be a complete dog. Didn't matter. Didn't matter. And as it turns out, there was some stock promoter. I forget the guy's name. His name was Kessler. I'm trying to remember. Back in the day, actually, that guy got in trouble. Was supposedly, setting up CEOs to speak with Dorp, and then they would push the stock on the program, drive the price up. How many people remember CNBC, COVID? Bill Ackman was being interviewed by Scott Wapner on CNBC. And he put on display. He wasn't there. His face wasn't there. He was on the phones during COVID. It was kind of things were starting to, I think it was right after maybe 15 days to stop the spread, or in and around that point in time. This guy called for shutting down the country. The president of the United States needs to shut the country down for the next 6 to 9 months. Everybody has to stay home. This is what needs to be done. The markets collapsed based upon that interview. Position of power. Maybe this guy knew something. Did he profit from it? Yeah, he did. So again, you're watching the action in these markets nowadays, and I'm here to tell you, you can't time them. Okay, they're completely unpredictable over the short term. The trends are going to be, good companies are going to be what good companies are going to be. But trying to guess when to get in and when to get out, you're just going to do ungodly damage to your portfolio. Anyway, Elon Musk calling out the legacy media and corporate journalism. He's saying, we have only just begun. Yeah, people out there. There was a reporter from Axios saying that the company's in trouble. His credibility is in trouble. Musk wrote Tuesday in response to a tweet about a Substack post headlined, in response to the Twitter files, establishment media rushes to defend the FBI. Again, don't doubt me here, people. The media it's establishment. Okay, they're not journalists. They're the media. There's a difference between a journalist and the media. I've talked about this forever. It's a watchdog on Wall Street, axis of evil. Big business, politicians, and the mainstream media working hand in hand to further their own needs. Media loves the FBI. They got their sources at the FBI. FBI pumps them with information that they can put out. I was watching an old interview from the 1970s. Yeah, this is not the FBI, but the CIA. Basically, same thing. And a CIA operative is, explaining how they would get, all sorts of information out to journalists about Vietnam so they could go home and lie to us here. Again, if you're for the truth, why are you against what Elon Musk is doing? Musk also said that he was open to the idea of purchasing the Substack platform because he said that they could actually take on the legacy media. Probably could. I mean, like I said, I subscribe to certain writers on Substack that I love, that I think are great. I pay for it. I don't care. They're that good. I'll pay. I will gladly pay for great content. Anyway, this is a follow-up. I couldn't make this story up. We spent some time this week talking about green nonsense and EVs and all that stuff. Wait do you hear this one? Wait do you hear this one? In a move that absolutely nobody, detect sarcasm right there, nobody could have seen coming, New York City is scrapping its brilliant idea for electric garbage trucks. They found out that they're not powerful enough to plow snow, and they're not going to be able to run long enough. See, they had a dream. I don't know if that was probably Bill de Blasio. Bill de Blasio, I have a dream of a city where 6,000 garbage trucks are not running on diesel, but are running on electricity. Oh my God. Guess what? These trucks, $523,000 a piece. You think you might have want to, figured out that the trucks weren't going to be powerful enough to plow snow. The garbage trucks plow the snow in New York City, nor run long enough before you decided to order some. Yeah, we got 7 coming in on delivery. 7 coming in on delivery. Again, could make it up if I wanted to. So after the podcast yesterday, I was going off on a rant about our government and its response to COVID and China virus and the fact that it's spreading like wildfire there. We're being lied to. We're told that there's 5,000 people dying a day. It's a hell of a lot more than that. And, China's saying, hey, you guys, you can now get COVID. You're free to catch COVID here in China, and you're also free to move about the country. Not just about the country. You're free to move about the world. Hey, we spread it the last time. Yeah. Those regular flights to Milan, the northern part of Italy, because the Italians stupidly decided to get so far in bed with China. Yeah, started there and moved on. Hey, same thing, right? And for the life of me, it was like, okay, we all know this is going to happen. We all know this is inevitable. Why wouldn't they just force people to be tested before they came, as soon as their policy of, okay, flights are coming over? I don't get it. So yesterday, the administrator, we're doing something about it. Here we come to save the day. Yep, you're going to have to be tested for COVID coming in from China today. Tomorrow? No. January 5th. So again, you're saying that this is an issue. This is a danger. It's a problem. But you're going to allow it to go on until January 5th. Then you're going to institute the tests. How stupid can you people be? Again, it's hard to get your arms around this stuff. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why would you, if it's that type of danger, why wouldn't you deal with it? It's the same thing. Remember, I talked about TikTok. All the federal government can't have TikTok on their phones. Many states can't have TikTok on their phones. You've got the head of the CIA calling it a major danger to children out there. Well, then why don't we ban it? I mean, we don't allow kids to buy cigarettes and beer, do we? Anyway, okay. Great piece today about, and it's again, echoes what I said here on the program. Again, the media wanted to get all bent out of shape, and you had a lot of zero, loser, empty. I'm sorry. I shouldn't say that. I'm trying to catch myself. Should be insulting. Ill-informed, ignorant, if you will, lefties out there that jumped all over the Trump tax story. The House Ways and Means Committee plans to release Donald Trump's tax returns tomorrow. It has already put out a report faulting the former president for paying little or no income tax in recent years. But the fault lies with Congress. Mr. Trump benefited from every tax loophole that lawmakers have made available to real estate businesses. These include deferral of income, conversion of ordinary income into lower capital gains, non-taxable income, tax credits, and artificial tax losses that ordinary taxpayers can't obtain. And this entire column here by Jay Starkman, who's a CPA, Wall Street Journal, explains how this is done. We told you about this. And part of what we are here, Markowski Investments and the WatchDog on Wall Street Show, we've got accountants. We've got accountants that spend an enormous amount of time dealing with these write-offs. And again, wouldn't Trump be a moron not to utilize these things? Every real estate investor does this. What? Again, you got so many of them out there. A lot of left of center Democratic real estate developer, what's his name, Peebles, and many others. What, you don't think they're doing the same thing? You don't change the tax code. Take the tax code and shoot it into the sun, for crying out loud. It shouldn't be any more than 30, 40 pages. They're not breaking the law. They're utilizing it. And again, how do you think all of these things get written in a tax law? Yeah, it's by donations. I've said this on plenty of occasion. Okay, politicians derive all of their power, and they've got a lot of power. They derive all of their power from the tax code and the Federal Registry. It's an enormous power, right? Yeah, you can shake people down, donate to this. Maybe we'll give you this loophole. Maybe we'll put in some certain regulations that will hurt your competitors and benefit you. It's how they operate. The tax code and the Federal Registry, again, yellow sun for Superman, tax code, Federal Registry for politicians, where their power comes from. Man. Again, Trump interviewed with Breitbart, and you kind of see where he's going with his campaign based upon his interview, I think. His interview, he talks about Republicans trying to take away people's Social Security. He's basically playing the donkey game. Yeah, that's the old donkey thing. Remember the commercial with Paul Ryan pushing grandma in a wheelchair off a cliff? Republicans are going to take away your Social Security, take away your Medicare. And again, you go through the entire interview, and he again blasts Paul Ryan and other Republicans that want to reform Social Security. No, he just says he's going to make it better. He's going to make it awesome. He's going to make it fantastic. And he talks about all the savings that we can have that can save Social Security. Doesn't mention how he's going to go ahead and do that. He just says he's going to. Anyway, I really don't feel like getting into it any further. You can read the interview that's on Breitbart. But geez, it's going to get ugly. Going to get ugly if he decides to stay in. Anyway, short and sweet today. Short and sweet today on the program. Have a wonderful day, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place. God bless.